Guys, this one is very special on this numbers. We got tagged on Twitter yesterday that a pleb out there, one of you guys, one of the listeners out there, made a call in on Inf0wars. Now, say what you want about Alex Jones, about Inf0wars, but this is something that we've been talking about for a while. It's the idea of getting the Bitcoin signal out there. And it's about getting everything that we talk about into the mainstream consciousness. And sometimes it's reaching out to normal or maybe not so normal audiences and getting the Bitcoin signal out. And I just absolutely want to thank everyone out there that is continuing to do this. But there is a very real point of this. I'm not going to play the whole clip. It was on yesterday's episode. It's about a 7-minute clip, but it's very interesting to see Owen talk about the problems, but really do some mental gymnastics when it comes to the solutions. And I say it all the time. We know what the problems are, but very few people are talking about the solutions. And we know what the solution is. It's simply Bitcoin. So let's get into this topic or this little clip real quick. Again, guys, I tried to clip this out for you, but for some reason my software wasn't working. So it was acting weird. So I'm just going to play the clip for you guys and we'll be right back in 1 second.
Back to the phone lines and let's go to Todd in North Carolina. Todd, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Owen. I wanted to ask you if you know about the event that RFK Jr., Vivek Ramaswamy, Cynthia Loomis, and Tulsi Gabbard all spoke at this weekend.
I don't believe so, no.
It was the Bitcoin Conference 2023 in Miami.
Okay, and yeah, I saw that Bitcoin conference. I didn't know they spoke at it.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. RFK Jr. brought up what made him a Bitcoiner, and that was the trucker convoy in Canada and how their funds were cut off. And he proposed that if their money had been in Bitcoin, then Canada, Trudeau, couldn't have touched them. So it's this idea that Bitcoin, which I didn't quite get until I started listening to a podcast called Simply Bitcoin. But their motto for Bitcoin is a separation of state and money. And I'd love to hear you guys interview the host Nico and Opti. They're both from the Southern Hemisphere. Nico, he's from Venezuela, and Opti, he's from Mexico. And they really see Bitcoin as an opportunity to uplift the global South, Africa, all the unbanked nations of the world, countries like Lebanon, that.
Yeah, sure. So let me just stop you right there. Here's the challenge. Here's the challenge about Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency is that you have to find a way so that the transaction economy can run off of it. So in other words, in order for the Bitcoin dream to really work, this is my opinion. I'm not the biggest crypto guy. This is just how I view it. So crypto people listening to this may be like, getting nauseous over my coverage here. But the whole goal needs to be, can I go out to lunch and purchase my meal in Bitcoin? Can I pay my electric bill in Bitcoin? Can I make real world transactions in Bitcoin? Because to me, the whole cryptocurrency thing is basically like a glorified crypto stock market at this point, and not a true transactional currency. Now,
okay, guys, I highly recommend you guys go watch this. This is from yesterday's clip, or yesterday's show over there. He goes on about 7 minutes about, that the government's going to make it illegal, that we need a circular economy, that, people aren't waking up to the idea of Bitcoin. And it's just very interesting because by the end of his little rant, and he went on for a while, and shouts out to them, again, not everyone has the time to fully dissect the Bitcoin signal, to put in the time that we did. There is one point that I did agree. It's what I played right there in the beginning. I fully agree in the idea. Yes, the circular economy of Bitcoin is very important, and this is why I tell you guys all the time, as a Bitcoiner, if you are able to provide your services or products for Bitcoin, definitely offer that, because the more people hold Bitcoin, the more the economy grows, the more people want Bitcoin, the more that you can get Bitcoin into people's hands. And this is very important. But it got very interesting that he started to talk about, people aren't using it at stores, and so therefore it's not a real currency, or maybe the government's going to make it illegal. He even went so far as to say that maybe we're going to have some threats on our lives and all this stuff. And I was sitting there the whole time like, I think we talk about this all the time. This is the separation of money and state, and we are very well aware of all of this stuff happening. And furthermore, if they made it illegal, you can't ban Bitcoin. You can only ban yourself from Bitcoin. So obviously, he is going through the motions and trying to understand Bitcoin. But it's one of the things that I talk about as much as possible. I think we know what the problems are, and very few people know what the solution is. But by the end of this 7-minute rant by Owen, it becomes very clear that he kind of inadvertently starts shilling Bitcoin. It's like, oh, wait, we need a currency that no one can control, that's outside of the state, the separation of money and state. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's Bitcoin. Maybe it's a shit coin. I don't know. But, what are we going to do? The government's going to fight us. They're going to hate us. They need to get their cut from it. And we're just here sitting like, yeah, Bitcoin will fundamentally change the power dynamics that go on in Washington. This is a feature, not a bug. So, hey, shouts out to you, Todd. You're a legend. I talked to you this morning on our Telegram group, and honestly, I'm just humbled and blown away that what we're doing here is spreading out into other avenues, into other media, because this is the most important thing that we can be doing, is talking about Bitcoin in spheres of influences that are like ours. People have interests just like us. And we need to wake more people up to the idea that Bitcoin fixes this, and doing it in the best way possible. So, man, honestly, it's just blown away. Nico and I were really blown away by this yesterday. So absolutely awesome. Really appreciate it. Anyways, Rustin, I don't think you saw the full clip. I'm going to recommend everyone go see the whole clip, and you'll see exactly the mental gymnastics. But Rustin, what's your takeaway from this?
I thought that was pretty incredible. As a kid, going through journalism early in school, things like that, I was always kind of out there. Crazy libertarian guy, but I followed a lot of Inf0wars back in the day. And you go back to Alex Jones, whether you like him or not, he is pulled the card many a times and been right more times than wrong, it seems. But, going back to him going into Bohemian Grove and all these different things, actual investigative journalism, and to get shouted out on there, that is pretty awesome. And I think at least that guy's going to go watch RFK's speech now, like at minimum, and then he's going to learn more. Like, he obviously doesn't know about the Lightning Network and almost free instant payments anywhere in the globe, or that Strike just became available to 3 billion people. So that's 3 billion people now can use Lightning for payment all over the planet. Huge things, a lot of signal, and really cool to see that happen. And it just means, we're on the right track. We just got to keep plugging and keep delivering this message of positivity, hope, and prosperity.
We are over the target, Rustin. And it's just good.
Yeah.
It's just awesome to be a part of. But anyways, before we get into the news,